Did you know that a shoulder muscle, it's called the latissimus dorsi, and it attaches right here on your shoulder, runs all the way down into your low back, is an incredibly important muscle for stabilizing your lumbar spine. So that it can be a useful muscle to exercise and engage for spine health. So here's an example. If I go to lift up a weight, say I'm doing some kind of a deadlift variation, if my shoulders are rolled forward, meaning I don't have this lat engaged in through here, I am not squeezing in through here, it's gonna look something like this. And this is not a good way to do it. So what we want to do to engage the lat in a movement like this is to squeeze our shoulders back. There is a cue that they use in weightlifting called bend the bar. And what they do is when they grab the bar, they pretend they're squeezing outward like this. It's this movement. And when they do that, it helps to take out of this, because this here creates this process where our spine is more rounded, and then we're more likely to do these kinds of things. So if we bend to the bar, it's this, and think about bringing our shoulders back. Now we're going to stay in better form. And now the same thing can be done if I'm doing some kind of a variation, say with a kettlebell, a swing or a deadlift with a kettlebell. The idea is before we set up to do it, think about bringing these shoulders back. Now with this one here, you might not have the whole bend the bar cue to use, but we're going to keep those shoulders pulled back, and we're going to try to do this here. Let's say if I'm doing some kind of a deadlift variation, versus what you see a lot of people doing in classes, especially these boot camp classes that go too fast, is you see this kind of a thing. And so what I would urge everybody to do is pull your shoulders back, engage those lats. You've seen that lat and how it attaches to your spine. It helps to stabilize your spine and protect your spine if it's engaged with these shoulders pulled back. Now here are some other options for strengthening this lat and to engage it, because really what the lat does is it extends our shoulder, meaning it pulls it back, but it also does this movement in here. So if we take some form of a resistance band, I like to do a single arm because it forces me to engage my core a little bit more. So when you engage just one side, the lat, just one at a time, when it engages, it's twisting and trying to pull your spine. So the spine muscles, especially on the other side and some of your obliques, have to engage to stabilize your spine. So you can turn a lat exercise and turn it into a lat exercise / a spinal stability exercise at the same time. So I have something like this here. I like to hinge back just a little bit, get my hips back. Be very aware. The other thing the lat does when you engage it is it tends to, as soon as we engage it, we intend to have that pelvis slip forward like this, and so we arch our back too much. So beforehand, I like to just think of bringing my pubic bone up just a little bit, because I know as soon as I engage it, my pelvis is going to want to do that. It's going to want to do this pelvic tilt. So I engage a little bit first, sit my hips back, and then I squeeze in, really keeping that shoulder blade or the shoulder back. If I do it from here, I'm not really going to engage that lat nearly as effectively as if I bring my shoulder back and then feel right there. That should engage nice and tight, and then you're going to squeeze there. And finally, one last way we can engage that lat is to just do something called a row. Now, you don't necessarily want to do this high row like this here, although you could. You're still going to get some of that lat, but we're going to be able to isolate a little bit more if the elbow's in, because the lat is more of an adductor. It comes in like this. So if we already have it locked in place, we will be able to engage that lat a little bit more. And we don't want to use too much bicep muscle, so we don't want to do this. As a matter of fact, we don't want to use too much upper trap muscle, so we don't want to be living here. We want to think about pulling that shoulder blade back And then we're gonna pull it more towards our waist area with the shoulder really accentuated, pulled back in through here. And really feel the squeeze in the lat. So there you go. That is why the lat is actually a great spine stabilizer, and a few ideas on how you can activate that lat. If you like the video, give us the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Encourage me to make more content for you. And then, of course, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'm going to answer those for you.